Every weekend, I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other. It's part of who I am. If you ride, you know what I mean. That's why I insure with Shannon's. They get it. They share our passion and give us the features riders want, like limited use cover and multi-vehicle discounts. Shannon's insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. Whatever you ride, ride with Shannon's.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Rare Spares has over 50,000 product lines and releases over 500 new products every year. Your local Rare Spares distributor has what you need when you need it. And as the only restoration company officially backed by Holden and Ford, we take our part in your project very seriously. Rare Spares, more than just a part in your project.
really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to your true Tuesday night broadcast here on SrwTV. Tonight we bring to you the SimRigs V8 Supercars Amateur Series. And thanks to Warren and Brown Tools, this is round 4 of season 4 of 2023. And we are coming to you live from Homestead Miami Speedway. I am Nathan ShiBBy Howden in the comms box. Next to me this evening is someone new to the broadcast room. It's Thomas Preach-Riley.
New to the broadcast room? Is it just because you've called me by something better than... Just because you've actually called me Thomas? Is that what it is?
That's your name right there, though. It's Thomas, yeah?
I mean, yeah, it is.
I didn't name my son Timothy to call him Tim.
You make a valid point there, ShiBBy. But either way, I am very keen to be here tonight, taking you around Homestead Miami for our amateurs. What are we, round 4 now? But very excited to see how the drivers take on what should be an interesting road course. One of those that don't get run very often, but I know over in the States it's quite a popular open wheel circuit for those drivers over there in real life, and what should hopefully bring on some great racing around this B layout of the road course.
It honestly does look like a cracking track. We must have raced it at some point, because it is bringing back memories of this track, like the shots of all the campers and everything over the field. So looking really awesome. That is one monstrous sweeping left-hander. I'm assuming they're going clockwise or anti-clockwise. That's a good question.
Going anti-clockwise.
Right.
Because they go up the main straight in the same direction as they do in NASCAR.
Oh, awesome.
They actually take the whole oval.
So we will be seeing our AMs take on Homestead Miami this evening, and then Sunday night our Pro-Am will take to it. So again, if the AMs put on a show like they have been all season and the last few seasons, guys, we are in for one heck of a race here tonight. We have 35 registered amateur drivers in the session right now, and we will be heading on into the Racecraft Simulations qualifying session very, very soon. But do you know much about this track, Preach, that you could give us a tools of the track rundown?
I'll be completely honest, ShiBBy, I don't know a whole lot.
Great.
I know that the first sector is actually pretty difficult because it sort of switches back on itself coming off the oval section, and then it's sort of two hairpins, two big hairpins leading onto long straights. So drive off the corners, being able to look after your rear tyre throughout the race will be very important. And then having something in the tank to be able to take around the that final banked section of the oval, turns 3 and 4, will be critical for these drivers. Drafting assistance is certainly going to be something to watch out for, as we saw the M1 racing cars lead themselves out in formation. Got the same thing with the Pelican Esports Racing leading themselves out there.
We're going with Pelican, aren't we now? Yeah.
I am.
Yeah. Batar Pavlovich loved it, I'm sure he did. He was getting involved with us, so...
Yeah, I know, right?
That's what we love to see, our drivers and, of course, our community out there that come along and watch these broadcasts getting involved with, of course, your caster and your commentators as well. We have a bunch of fun here behind the cameras and, of course, calling the races for you guys. So, or anytime you want to shout out a driver or see someone on screen, let us know, and we will do our best to get them up there while we follow all of the battles. Let's see if this is correct. No, didn't update my end.
Okay, we'll work on that. But I can tell you that Matty Whitaker still hold on to the lead of this championship after round, into round 4 now, after round 3, still holding on to the lead of the championship. Oh, the track looks a little bit slippery to start with for these drivers. Having some troubles through the first sector, all the M1 cars. So having some trouble sticking it on the black stuff.
I wonder what the temperature is out there right now. It's only 23 degrees, so it's really not that hot at all, mate. So maybe new track, something, as you said, not really raced very often, is playing havoc to maybe their setups that they're attempting to use this evening.
Yeah, potentially having a bit of an impact, but I think that the big thing is I think we're just struggling to see drivers getting used to the braking zones here, especially with slipstream assistance, being able to get the car stopped, turned in into corners. There's a bit of action going on out there with drivers just sitting and waiting.
Yeah.
So
get their own fresh air, maybe, or trying to slot in behind people.
not sure, mate. It's very interesting indeed.
Right, Dylan De Bono has come through with the first fastest time of the night with a 1:14.158. Closest to him is Jamie Davis, the 1:14.353, and that's only in the first couple of laps. So, with how cool the temps are out there tonight, we might see these get a little bit lower than that. Might see some 113s, high 112s.
Very keen to see what sort of what we might be looking at tonight. So yeah, very exciting. Struggling to stay up to date with where you're up to, ShiBBy.
Just trying to stay up to date where I'm up to.
Yeah, on cameras.
Oh. I'm just clicking people.
Yeah, no, it's not coming up. It's not coming up with what you're looking at.
Oh.
So let me do an Alt F4.
Refresh. Yeah, do a bit of a refresh. I tell you what, anybody else up in Queensland at the moment is hot. I'm hoping a storm comes over because it is ridiculous. Shout out to everybody who live in the tropics because, gosh, it is sweltering tonight. And my good old thermal heater is doing wonders in this room. Todd Martin on 2 greens coming over the line now. Not sure if that is going to be an improvement. De Bono still holding that fastest lap. Well, if the storm can hold out, Barbs, until after the broadcast, that'll be fantastic. Because then I will go and dance in the rain. We need rain badly. My whole backyard is just absolutely dropping off. Getting some feedback that the cars are slightly too high, guys. I think it's going to just depend on the cameras that I'm on. As we come closer to the cars are going to get a bit louder. But I'm thinking I've got a couple of guys in the Warren and Brown Tools cockpit cam. Let's do an onboard with one of them. Where are we at? Who am I looking for? Car number 88. Where's he at? He's coming through. Oh, Ty Burns got some purples in there. Straight up into provisional P2. The 1:14.093. Joe Marnie, 1:13.879. And there is a cluster of corners there. So there was nearly said
cluster
a bad
of corners.
I nearly said a bad word. About 4 cars just shot off that corner there. Oh, Barb said we've got 3 times 20-minute storms for you. Well, let's hope tonight, mate, that the guys are a little more settled than we usually see. Oh, did the driver I want to follow just go into pits, or did I miss them? I think I missed them. We will jump on quickly here. Oh, that's a podium, it is. Oh, wrong one, ShiBBy. Good work. On board here with Jace Douglas. we're going to take a trip around Miami Homestead.
Just coming up along the second of the long straights. We exit the infield. Big tight hairpin here, second gear corner. And then hard on the power for this run along onto the back stretch of the oval. Staying up nice and high. Get the car in and then tuck it down low. Just watch the rear, manage the throttle. Don't want to cut yourself out too early. We need these drivers to do a full oval race. Slots himself up there into P3 on a 14 flat. 2 thousandths behind Jamie Davis.
That was a good lap for the young gun, Jace Douglas. His dad Ray has just dropped in and he said, I'm here for Jace, but as always enjoy your call, Shibby. Preach is here too, Ray. Preach is here too.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, mate. Come on. New track for Jace, so see how we go. Yes, we will, mate. Reached to go. He's dropped in and said, how's the new PSR liveries looking? Stella, I don't know, mate. Should we have a look at one? Quick, I don't know who drives in PSR, so I'm not going to be able to show off those liveries.
Cowie.
Yeah. Mr. Andrew Cowan, you're not so average sim racer. I do got to say, yeah, do like.
Look all right.
Yeah. Very clean looking. Yeah. Enjoy them.
I mean, clean isn't what I'd go for given the amount of texture that's in that white, but...
No, but I mean everything's very readable, you know what I mean? Like everything you can see is clean and readable. And,
yeah.
yeah.
No, you're right. You are right there.
But yeah, apart from all the patterns, that I would class that as messy, but yeah. Mr. Scotty Rattler Van Loon says, have a great call, lads. Stuck in Dampier with all the bloody flies. Well, mate, keep them there to yourself and, yeah, have fun. Hope you're going to enjoy the broadcast tonight, mate. Travis Daly on a cracker there.
Oh, that's a different one.
Yeah, look at that one. The West End Motor Group and the Parramatta Isuzu Ute. Looking fresh, that's for sure. 9 minutes in of our racecraft qualifying session. Ty Delaney has dropped into the chat to say, let's go Witsy. Let's go Witsy.
Whitaker.
Aha! That'd make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Matt Whitaker, of course, the fishy machine, the fishy driver of the 823 machine. Great to see you, Ty. Great drive on Sunday, mate. If everybody has not seen round 3 of the simrigs.com Pro Am Series that was run on Sunday at Bathurst, go and check it out. It was an absolute cracker of a race. Just watching Leaky go around now. One of our veterans of the league. Yarra Rangers Estate. Love that yellow
Very
on that
bright.
car.
Not going to miss it.
No, so it's probably good for when Leaky goes off track. Everybody will be able to see him.
Don't speak it into existence.
So De Bono now for the Velocity Simlabs team has been bumped down to P5 after setting that cracking lap at the start of the session. So
Trying to stay out of the way of everyone.
yeah, it's very busy. What would we say, east side of that track, isn't it? Very tight. So it's going to be interesting to see how cars hold up with that, as you said, that massive amount of draft assistance they're going to get coming down into turn 1 and turn 2.
Turn 1 is actually very difficult because you're coming off a little bit of banking, a little bit of natural camber in the road off the main straight. Just see Darren Crosby, Darren Crosby there, just having a little bit of trouble just getting the car to turn into that first hairpin. into that midfield hairpin. 31 car.
Peter Van de Kraan from Angry
Peter
Birds
Van de Kraan.
Racing.
Sitting P2 in the championship and down in 17th, so he's got some work to do to get himself up further up the field. Joe Marnie still sitting up the top on a 13.8. So done enough at the moment to hold his position.
Followed by Jamie Davis, one of the new drivers to the league for the AutoServe Racing team. Has put on a phenomenal drive over the last couple of races. So he's going to be one of those guys to keep an eye on throughout the rest of this season. Rattler said no Quantum Pecky's performance racing cars tonight. Oh, mate, the names have absolutely just lost me tonight.
I've seen a couple on track.
That's a QPR. No, Crosby.
Sipple? Peck?
Oh, yeah, Pecky. Of course. Sipple and Peck, yes. So, Mark Peck is out there. I do like that livery. There's something about the Pecky's liveries. Yeah, so Ty Delaney's asked us what is your guys' favourite livery in here. I think at the moment with the AMs, I'm going to say the Pecky's ones, because they do look very nice.
I do like that one, the Pacific Esports Racing
Pelican
car.
Esports Racing.
Pelican Esports looks great. And I do like the Chase Douglas Dynamic Sim Sports, Chase Douglas and Bruce White. They do look like great liveries as well. They're bright and stand out a lot.
The rebranding on that team, they have done fantastic. Their liveries do look really, really nice. There's Jason.
As speaking out earlier, as he disappears.
And the sand pit. But, yep, M1 lads are doing pretty well. They're sticking together. Oh, see him hit that curb there up on
Let's stick with Kennedy here, because it looks like he's pushing to try and get a good lap time in whilst towing his teammate in behind. So as they come on to this first of the infield straights, one that runs parallel to the back stretch in direction, and they switch it back around through the hairpin and through this little kink where you just got to modulate the throttle a little bit so you don't lose the rear. Oh, he almost lost it there.
A bit slidely.
Skating it all the way around. Second hairpin now, most important hairpin on the track arguably, because this is the one that really sets you up for a good run down the backstretch up towards the oval 3 and 4. Stays high, gets it down low, right to the apron at the bottom. Then we'll just let the car run back up high. Not all the way to the wall. Don't want to lose up all your speed heading uphill. Jamie Davis has just done a 14.013, so bettered his time, but not enough to get pole. Stephen Kennedy couldn't quite do it, so it'll be Joe Marnie starting on the pole.
Great drive from Joe there. I think this is the first time this season we'll see Marnie up there in a pole position, so congratulations.
No, we saw him for the heat race at Long Beach.
Yes, right, that's right.
But still, it's still a great performance to be up there and to have just over over a tenth of a second on the field. It's a great result for him as we look at the qualifying results and in turn the grid. Joe Marnie on pole for JTIT Race on Oz, a 13.879. Jamie Davis for AutoServe Racing in P2, who'll line up alongside him. Jason Douglas and Ty Byrne will line up in off-road 2. Dylan DeBono and Stephen Kennedy off of 3. Dylan will be hoping to turn some luck around tonight after what was a very unfortunate Bathurst for him. Liam Tipping and Matt Whitaker off of row 4, 2 of the championship protagonists this season, sitting right up there, especially Matt Whitaker, who's leading the championship at the moment. Simon Haynes and Troy Dooley will line up off of 5, Darren Crosby and John Gallen off of 6. Lorne McKee and Travis Daly lining up alongside each other off row 7. Blake Gallen, our driver of the day from last week, alongside Todd Martin of Quantum Pecky's Racing. See, there's another Quantum car, another Pecky's car we forgot. Sean Nazaska Smith and Peter Van der Kraan a little bit further away than where he want to be. but I'm sure throughout the next 3 races tonight, he'll be hoping to surge his way forward through the field. Mark Horton and Petar Pavlovich off of row 10. Troy Sipple, Chris Burridge off of row 11. And then it'll be Mark Peck and Brett Taylor, 23rd and 24th. Dougie Gowans and Mitchell Muller off of, row 13. Andrew Cowan, further down the order than he would have liked. But again, it's a draft track. And it's not over until you take the checkered flag. Tyler Sheaf and Greg Leake, Mick Clifton and Craig Healy, and then it'll be Scott Weston in 33 with Shane Newens and Josh King in 35 and 36, and Greg Barber he's in race control, isn't
Matty
he?
Jones and Greg Barber, our race stewards this evening,
Yes, so should be a cracker race tonight. We've got 3 races coming your way here from Miami Road Course B, if you want to be accurate about it. Let me just get up the stream on your side, ShiBBy, so I can actually see what you're going to be looking at down into turn 1, because I have no idea what to expect. So 30 seconds until we get the grid here. Well, a little bit shorter, so all the way down the back off this grid, we are set up for what should be a cracker race tonight. Getting ready for revs to rise. 3 races coming your way. Heat 1. Revs rise. We get ready for a green light. And we are away in racing. Joe Marnie gets a great start off of row 1, but Jason Douglas is going to come up the inside, make it 3 wide down into turn 1. Cars file through turn 1, looking to avoid damage. Jamie Davis.
Oh, the auto serve car is into the wall. Oh no, he managed to keep it. He actually managed to get himself back on track and not cause any chaos there. Good start so far.
Joe has started very strong here. Jason Douglas with a great start off the line, managed to drop the clutch and get it moving very nicely. Liam Tipping trying to get the over-under on Jamie Davis. Jamie just not giving him all the space. Liam just grabbing some of that curb and just unweighting the rear a little bit. Manages to keep control of the car. So Jamie Davis drops from the front row down to P5. Still got another 19 minutes of this race left to go, so lots of time for passes, a bit more action.
It'll be interesting to see how these guys tackle this track, because as we've said, this is not one of those usual tracks that you see the V8 Supercars out on. Douglas, though, already attacking Marnie for that lead spot. 2 very different lines down through there. This is 3 20-minute sprint rounds, so we might see a bit more aggression from our drivers as we see Simon Haynes and Matt Whitaker as well. Whitaker a bit slidewards there, gets on the loud pedal pretty early. Crosby now in on the back of him. We get side by side. Coming up through the midsection now. Thanks for joining us, Coleman, Scotty Barjan and Matty Raw. Crosby on the back of Whitaker. You can see just how much these cars have to slow down to take this left-hander. And then it is a long straight now all the way down through the big sweeping left of the oval.
Not really a big sweeping left, it's just a big corner. Lots of damage on that Gallon car on the left front. Looks like he's had a heavy cloud of a barrier potentially somewhere. Chasing down Troy Dooley in that PSR orange machine. Filing into turn 1. It's got a little bit of like a long style Daytona turn 1 feel, which seems to be the way to get off the over. Cowie's up on the curb trying to get a move done on Chris Burridge. Just trying to keep the nose in there.
Dougie
Difficult to make a move work around the outside. coming out of the first sector. Managed to make it work though.
Yeah, you see Dougie Gowans also managed to get a move done down the inside there. Tyler Sheaf now and Scott Perrins. QPR and Velocity.
Sheafy just bodies.
Oh,
we've got
there's a car off
Taylor
track.
off. Is that Taylor? Who was off? Marnie. What's going on?
Brett Taylor.
thank goodness.
Yeah, it was Brett Taylor off track there, mate.
No, I saw Marnie with out next to his name, and I was like, oh, don't tell me.
Oh, three
Three
wide.
Oh, hip and shouldered it.
Oh, the
There's a
QPR
Picky's
car's
car
around.
around.
Gosh, mate, we're talking sync. Definitely wasn't Mark Peck.
Stephen
Oh,
Kennedy. Oh,
Douglas has come off. Was battling it out with the boat. Marnie for the lead. Has made a small mistake and that's dropped him back down into fourth. Lucky this is a super sprint. There's 3 rounds to rack up those points. Dropping back through the field, Horton here. Mark Horton for Accelerate Sim Racing on the back of another damaged side there. Doesn't look too bad. Just might be a bit of paint off. That's Blake Gallen in front. Those intervals up for you, ladies and gentlemen. Sean Smith now trying to go down the... Oh! And he's around. Trying to battle it out. Matt Whitaker now down the inside of Simon Haynes.
the difficult one in these cars to try and get back around the outside, try and use the high line. I don't think it quite works in these cars, given they don't slide as much like NASCAR do. When I say slide, I mean they're not sliding up the banking, up the track towards the wall on the exit. They're really just trying to keep it nice and narrow, keep the speed up without losing too much momentum. Here, Darren Crosby there, just short shift after he got most of the rotation done, just to reduce the rear slide. Then he wheel spin, trying to keep that under control as he chases down simple Simon Haynes. Whitaker's really being a bit of a bottleneck here for a big pack of cars.
Oh, look at him slowing out onto the outer track. Good run. Go back a little bit more because Gallen and Dooley side by side just as we jumped onto camera with them. Gallen for...
He's got a good run off the corner. Not going to be close enough to be able to get that, to be able to get the nose up the inside.
Drop back a bit more. We've got Peck, Muller,
Dougie
Gowans.
Gowans.
Mr. Guns out. Gowans doesn't have his cam on tonight.
Oh, damn.
Oh, Lord making a move on Mark Horton. Teammates, maybe that was a bit of a, hey mate, you've got some more pace than me, just slide on through. Oh, he's off track.
In the infield.
Not the best spot. There's a lot of cars starting to flow through now, so that's probably
There's a bit of a bottleneck there. Sure. Oh, what's going on here? Why is there so much contact all of a sudden?
all the cars.
Nose to tail.
Yeah, all on top of each other. This field is very, very tight. Darren Crosby, the M1 Racing team, and Matt Whitaker of Fishy Motorsports. Let's see how they handle this next to each other. Oh, Darren's down the inside. Cops a little bit more of that curb than he wanted, and you see that V8 get very unsettled through there. Now Crosby and Daly are on the back of him. Blake Gallen trying to go down the inside of Lawn.
Oh, it's a good run. Oh, he just picked up the throttle a bit too early. It looked like he'd managed to get that crisscross bang on for him. But was just a little bit too eager on the loud pedal and couldn't quite get through the corner. So Marnie skipped away a little bit here, opened up that gap to just over 1.3 seconds. Got a little bit of traffic in front, so he's going to start getting some draft assistance from them. And he'll be one of those, Joe will be like, do I or don't I want him to move? Is he helping me? Is he giving me the dirty air that I don't want?
Well, it's also a reverse top 10 for the second heat, mate.
So Daly and Haynes are battling it out in behind Crosby for that 10th place at the moment. So one of those drivers is going to be the unlucky recipient of the dreaded 11th place start when you've got a reverse grid.
Whitaker's in the pit lane. Crosby's in the pit lane. Pavlovich.
No,
Oh, it's
no,
just where they're crossing
that'll be involved
over,
with pit entry, or with pit exit. The line you take into turn one, you cut a little bit of that pit entry to open up the corner, and we've got that lapped car of the. Got through there, all right. The lapped car from Accelerate Sim Racing just getting out of the way of this battle. Dougie Gowans and Andrew Cowan going at it for 18th and 19th. We'll get a replay here of what's happened to
Cowie went off track.
He went wide, come back on, and then has been able to hold that position because he joined safely. So Ducky does get through on him. Jump back to live pictures now. We just see Whitaker now under threat from Daly. So Crosby's got through on Whitaker. Daly's going to cut to the low line. Oh my word, that was close.
What a time to change to the bonnet cam.
That was very, very close indeed. That certainly would have raised the eyes of the stewards just how aggressively Matt Whitaker cut down to cover that bottom run. And it looked like what happened there was Daly actually grabbed a little bit of curb, and Daly's managed to get through on Whitaker in the end.
Oh, they're still side by side. SDK just had a hissy fit. Could have been
Whitaker and Haynes battling for reverse grid pole. Still got 9 minutes left in this one, so lots still to play out. Got Petar Pavlovich trying to have a look up the inside, get himself into that battle.
Gotta say, solid driving here for the AMs tonight. Couple of little spins onto the grass, but everything has been really clean and great racing already.
As it is every week. Oh, there's a nose and tail. That was a Accelerate car coming in very hot. Be interested to see if Sheafy had just run one of those cars just a little bit out of room. Oh, the 73 car. Is that? That's Newlands. Just dropped a wheel onto the apron there, and that really unsettles the car. You're so committed to that bottom white line that getting onto that apron really, you're not using all of the tyre at that stage, and the car can get very unsettled with all of a sudden a lack of grip and a lot of air under the car.
I think Haynes and Whitaker. No, that's Pavlovich now.
Pavlovich going for the move on Haynes, getting up the inside. Haynes is going to try for a bit of a switch back here. Gets a good exit. Pavlovich a little bit squirrely, so what Haynes needs to do here is get right up alongside Pavlovich, give him not much space to work with, drive it hard into the corner, drop down, let Pavlovich sit up high and try and carry the speed through the corner. Pavlovich is staying in it though. They're going to go side by side down into turn one for sure. You can see Haynes there didn't quite have enough to be able to get past Pavlovich at that particular stage.
Jamie Davis gets some move done on Jason Douglas there. And Liam Tipping's also going to have a dig at it. This could be interesting. Douglas could potentially lose 2 spots here. He's on the inside.
Tipping go really deep under brakes there. Managed to pull further alongside, and then Douglas just eased off the brake a little bit, set himself a little bit deeper into the corner so that he could cover any switchback opportunity. It's great racecraft, even if it might not have been intentional, his thought. But it managed to work out because now Tipping has to use the slipstream to try and get past. Cuts up high, trying to use all the throttle that he can to get off the corner. The driver's getting closer and closer to that outside wall as they get more and more confident. Of course, drivers in these cars sit on the outside, sit on the right-hand side, mean that you're sitting right up against the wall, so you get really good visibility in terms of where you are laterally on the racetrack compared to if you're in a NASCAR or any of the oval cars on the service where you sit you sit on the left-hand side of the car. Makes it difficult to know exactly how close you are running to the wall. I find myself, after I've done some oval racing, that my neck is quite sore when I try and turn it to the left, because I've been looking right a lot of the time to be able to see exactly where I'm positioning the car, that front right corner of the car relative to the wall. Joe here, though, is doing outstandingly well. He's just got Dylan DeBono's closed that gap a little bit to him, so just needs to keep that in mind when it comes to the next couple of laps. Probably got 5 laps, maybe 4 laps to go after this one.
On Davis.
On the apron. It's not where you want to be.
It's very slippery down there.
He's got good straight line speed, though. He's going to keep it tucked in there. Oh, he has to be careful, though, of Tipping coming up behind. Douglas tries to carry some speed over the curb, makes a little bit of contact with that auto serve driver. You're going to go side by side. Still a chance of contact here. Douglas tries to do the switchback, get the car stopped, turn it down underneath. Doesn't get the exit that he needs through that little compression dip in the road. Tipping is going to fire it up the outside super late, skates it in on the brake, makes a little bit of contact. There's a little bit of a bump and run, but does manage to get the move done. It was late, and the rear just a little bit, made some contact at the apex. Matt Whitaker holding on to 10th place at the moment for his dear life. Pavlovich chasing down Simple Simon Haynes as well. Whitaker gets a good exit onto the backstretch now. Look at him using all the track they can to try and ease out of the corner, not scrub too much speed. Pavlovich going to go the high line. Whitaker's going to drop low on Daly. So we'll try and see if this move can be done here. Whitaker carrying the speed. Can't quite get the block pass. Oh, there's contact. That's a massive crash. Looked like they were both coming up the racetrack at the same time. And Daly has got huge damage. That's an engine that is about to blow on that 777 car. He got turned hard into the outside wall after the corner had basically been done. Whitaker has got some rear damage on the shore. Looks like the tracking of that car is not quite how it was when he came onto that back straight last time. He's going to have some aero damage as well, which is going to affect his top speed. He's going to race through it, though. Just thought when he came out of that contact, it looked like the right rear corner of that car was pointing in the wrong direction. As in, there was a significant toe out on one of the rear wheels. Pavlovich going to send it up the inside, going to get that move done. Whitaker, unfortunately, can't get back because he's got Simple Simon Haynes bodying him out the way. Whitaker now is at risk of losing to Vanderkrant as well.
Cowan and Sean Smith are also going side by side, two completely different lines there. Cowie got a really smooth run through, lots of battles happening on track right now as we head into the final 2 minutes of our Heat 1 here this evening. Joe Marnie still out leading the way. How are we going down?
Cowie just sends it in there. Oh no, rear-ends his teammate.
right into his teammate.
What is going on there?
I think he carried
Kelly
too
looked
much
like he
speed and just
sent that into turns 3 and 4 of the oval, sent it in so deep, and then it just shot him back up high. Wonder if he got down to the apron too early, and that meant that his speed he could carry was much, much lower. His teammate now is really suffering with that engine, just trying to see if he can bring home some points here.
It's definitely
Dylan De Bono right on the back of Joe Marnie now as we head into the final lap of this race. This will be the white flag. There's Barney doing his best. Gonna have a one-lap shootout here. De Bono versus Marnie. Marnie's been leading every single lap of this race. Just locks a tyre down into turn 2. De Bono, good on the brakes. Bono needs to piece this together. He needs to set him up here, try and get himself alongside, or at least put his nose in a spot that Joe's a little bit unsure about, heading up to this infield hairpin. Joe goes defensive straight away. De Bono tries to chase him for the draft. De Bono knows that his best opportunity is an exit out of here. Will help him a lot when it comes up to this hairpin up here. He's just had to chase the rear a little bit. Joe's car looks a lot more stable. De Bono's going to try and send it in deep on the brakes. He pinches the rear a little bit. Exit here is important. Joe gets a good exit. De Bono tried to use first gear to get himself out of the corner. He's got to be careful. Tyburn's coming up behind him. Dylan sends it in so deep into turn 4 of the oval. It's going to be hard to stop saying that, but Joe Marnie will take home the heat race win here for heat 1 of our triple super sprint format here. Dylan De Bono comes home in P2 by half a second, and Tyburn was coming heavily fast towards Dylan De Bono, but he takes home a podium, which I think might be his first podium in any of the races.
That might explain the expression session he's putting on through the midsection of his track.
It's pretty impressive. That's pretty good fishtailing. Jamie Davis comes home in P4, 5.6 seconds off the back of Tyburn. Liam tipping in 5th with Jace Douglas in 6th. We've got Kennedy, Crosby, Haynes and Pavlovich will take P10, which means he gets the reverse grid pole heading into race 2 here this evening. So Whitaker comes home 7/10 adrift.
What a stunning first race. Really, really clean, respectful driving across the whole field. A little bit of rubbing, but as they say, rubbing is racing.
Now, important to note is that Race Control have just ruled on the 777 Travis Daly and Matt Whitaker incident, and have said that it is no further action. Both drivers have converged into the same point on the racetrack, so neither driver is wholly or predominantly to blame. So it's a racing incident, race on. Unfortunately, Travis Daly gets the result that he wasn't hoping for, given where he was sitting, but Matt Whitaker will line up in P11 in the end. So Petar Pavlovich will have the reverse grid pole. Simon Haynes lining up alongside him for Quantum Pecky's performance. It'll be an M1 Racing row 2. Jason Douglas out of 5 and Liam Tipping in 6. Jamie Davis and Tyburn in 7 and 8. Dylan De Bono and the Heat 1 winner, Joe Marnie, will line up out of 10th. And then from 11th onwards is exactly where they finished in the last race. Bit of a progressive grid situation there for them. So Matt Whitaker takes the 11th spot. Peter Van der Kraan in 12. Looking further afield, Lorne McKee and Chris Burridge in 13 of 14. Dougie Gowans and Mitchell Muller off of row 8. Sean Nazaska Smith and Troy Dooley. Shane Newens and Craig Healy. Scott Weston and Tyler Sheaf. And then looking further afield again, Brett Taylor, Andrew Cowan, Josh King, Greg Leake, Troy Sipple, Todd Martin, Mark Horton, Travis Daly finishing all the way down in 32nd after that heavy contact with the outside wall. There'll be an imprint of a Mustang badge for sure there. Mick Clifton and Mark Peck, and then Blake Gallen in E35 with a lot of the damage on that left-hand side of right-hand side of that car that we saw at stages during that race. We're into Heat 2 here, ShiBBy, and I don't think that we're any closer to knowing what pace everyone's got. There was a lot of stuff going on in that race. We saw what Joe was able to do to lead from the front, but I think he's going to be in with a tough challenge here to surge himself forward. At least he's got Liam Tipping starting just 2 cars ahead of him on the same row. But if you look at what's sitting just throughout the top 14 cars is 3 M1 Racing cars just sitting there ready to pounce on whatever happens next in this race.
It's going to be interesting, mate. Reverse top 10s.
4 even. I'm not a good count.
You can't count? Oh, no, yeah, that's
There's
right.
4.
Yeah, because the other
Crosby, Kennedy, Byrne, and Burridge.
a little bit of a different livery. Guys, you've done an absolute cracking job tonight with 18 votes on the poll. 34 of you lovely legends watching us this evening, and only 8 likes on that video or on our broadcast. If you find yourself enjoying this broadcast tonight, please let us know by hitting that like button. And I love the fact that it is a 50-50 vote on yes, let's get racing, or nah, I'm just here for ShiBBy. So you guys are absolute legends. I'm sure you would have had enough of me by now. Or next time, Preach, because we are, you're a bit of a Holden man, I'm a bit of a Ford man. Our next poll might have to be Preach for Ford or ShiBBy for, oh, sorry, other way around. Preach for Holden or ShiBBy for Ford, and see how that poll goes.
Everyone will choose Preach. Not because it's Holden, I'll just choose Preach. Revs rise, we get ready for the second race to start here. It's a good start yet again from Jason Douglas, this time off the 3rd row. We've got Pecky's and Pavlovich heading down into turn 1. Pecky's car and Pavlovich, I should say, down into turn 2. Pavlovich just grabbed a little bit of curb there. It's going to invite Simon Haynes to go try and hang it around the outside. Not much room to work with there. Needs to get himself back in line, try and get a good exit out of here in the dip onto this back straight. I say back straight, it's really the
mid straight.
The second straight looking vertically. I don't know. Too many straights lining up next to each other here. Liam Tipping getting a move done around the outside of one of those M1 cars. That'll be Stephen Kennedy. He's getting past Jason Douglas, trying to capitalise on another good race start. Matt Whitaker got a good one. Dylan DeBono just swerving his way around, trying to fill the mirrors of that dynamic sim sports car. Matt Whitaker getting up the inside of Ty Byrne. Just compromising the line there as we get moving nice and cleanly, I think, through the infield. Doesn't look like there were many cars going slowly. Dylan DeBono. Matt Whitaker just having to deal with the threat of Joe Marnie in behind him.
I don't know if you saw it at the start, mate, but on turn 1, a car did go straight into the wall.
Oh dear. I did not see that.
We only caught it very quickly on the broadcast as Lorne McKee takes around the inside of Peter Vanderkran, and he slot himself back in. Vanderkran's still going to be on the inside there. Now we've got Chris Burridge.
Be careful, Chris Burridge trying to get himself involved. Vanderkran's going to just send it. He's going to try and make the move up the inside. It's very late. There's a little bit of contact. Burridge runs deep as well, so that invites Mitch Muller into the fight in that burnt orange car. Dougie Gowans. Look at him send the velocity car up the inside. That's
around.
Now that looked like for Dooley, he'd pinched the rears to avoid contact and has actually just gone the inside of the corner. So if that's strategic driving to avoid a massive shunt, that's very clever.
Good driving, yeah. Jamie Davis now, though, really starting to hunt the back of Pavlovich. Pavlovich did get a great run out. Davis has just done a 1:14.62, so that is the Racecraft Simulation's fastest lap of this session. Pavlovich only did a 1:15.71, so Davis is really on the pace here. Brad Anderson saying, let's go, Jamie, and come on, Josh. Be shouting out those auto serve drivers as we see Davis look for an inside run. Will get down there. Pavlovich gives him the room. Looks like Pavlovich may have to just pull back in behind Jamie here. He's going to have the...
He's going to send it before the turning point, get himself track position there. Jamie gets a great exit out of that corner, though. We saw the exit that he got coming out of that first hairpin. Managed to get good drive off the corner, but he's managed to get even better drive off the second part of the corner. Off the second hairpin. Pavlovich down to the apron to try and get a move done. Had to just pull a little bit of brake to avoid contact. He's going to just slide up the racetrack, try and cover off a run from Simon Haynes, but too little too late there for Pavlovich. Trying to then cover from Liam Tipping, who's eager to get past.
They're starting to build quite a train behind these guys. De Bono now down the inside of Crosby. Will be on the outside though through here. Keep it clean. M1 racing car of Ty Burns trying to get his nose in as well. And right on the back is Jason Douglas. We are going to have one awesome 15 minutes left of battling four cars.
Oh, Ty Burns just got in a little bit deep. Makes contact with De Bono. Bono's run is compromised. Oh, Joe tries to get up the inside. We've got Matt Whitaker and Jason Douglas, who's out in the grass. And we were 7 weeks ago.
Been death.
As they were off the track.
Douglas and Whitaker didn't lose out on that, but they did fall off the back of Marnie. And they're going to keep this battle going.
Oh, apron again for Douglas. Going to compromise his speed. See Burridge trying to get a good run on Whitaker. Burridge trying to use the draft. He's going to try and get up the inside of Whitaker here. Forces track position. Gets cut down late. Just has to pull out of it. Just due to the space that you lose coming into turn 2 there.
Speaking is turn 2 as we keep dropping back through the field. There is battles upon battles. Cars side by side everywhere. Ray says Jason might be a little struggling tonight. New track, mate. Might not be as confident as he wants as we see Lorne and Gallen. Lorne gets crossed up, can't get the power down. Still sliding all over the place. That puts Scott Weston and Peter Vanderkrant right on his tail. These two are now going to go side by side with Lorne.
3 wide into the corner. Oh! Lorne just doesn't see Peter Vanderkrant coming. There's a little bit of contact there. I mean, it's not a little bit, it's a lot of contact on that 273. You can't see it, but it was instantaneous how dark that went. Davis has started to skip away. Pavlovich is becoming a bit of a moving train here. But Tipping and Crosby in behind.
Tipping, Crosby, Byrne, Haynes, Kennedy, De Bono, Marnie. All off the back of Pavlovich. Who is going to start trying to make some moves? Oh, as we see Tipping get a little crossed up there. Does manage to catch it though. Tipping getting right on the back. Pete Vanderkrant has fallen back into P20. I'll see what I can find for you, Rick. So we stay on board with this battle because it's going to be interesting to see who makes the move. Starts closing this gap. I can see De Bono on the back of Kennedy. Really starting to get up there now. Up 2 spots off grid position. Oh, was Bit
of a slide job pass from De Bono there. Tried to get himself up, tried to drive Stephen Kennedy up the racetrack. Kennedy was having none of it. Just manages to get his nose down onto the rear wing of that Commodore, but can't quite get the move done. De Bono just saying this is an opportunistic move up the inside of Ty Burn. makes it 2 cars in the space of about 4 corners to get himself up into 5th. He's been a great drive from De Bono so far. Really trying to get himself into a good position for race 3. And a solid haul of points after what was a very disappointing Bathurst round last time out. Big points lost there for him in his championship fight. With so many points on offer, 240 points were on offer last time out at Bathurst. John Gallen just trying to drive himself in a nice bit of clear air, but he's got his namesake Blake coming up alongside him. Oh, a bit of contact. Blake Gallen decides to go,
and that's
cross country, trying to avoid any contact, and I think he's managed to not hit a single car in that. I'd love to see the onboard of that save. Marnie looking around the outside of Kennedy with Douglas tucking in behind the other Mustang. Oh, a bit of contact down into turn 1. Marnie was in the grass, made side-by-side contact with Douglas.
oh man,
De Bono making a move on Ty Byrne. It's all going on here.
Mate, this track has really brought out some phenomenal driving. I'm trying to get a replay for Rick Vigor to show him what happened with Van der Kraan. What I can tell you, mate, he was off track for 8 seconds. So that is a huge chunk of time. Just trying to pick the right time to get a replay. Whittaker now in the back of Marnie. It's the back of Whittaker, not the back of Marnie. They are actually side by side. Oh, and Chris Burridge has come through and bumped Whittaker. Dougie guns out. Gowan's got on the brakes then too, I think, getting ready to avoid. And Sean Smith starting to really close down the gap now.
Drives himself into the bottom of the corner. This is the drag race I thought we might see. Gowan's getting a good run out of the corner, running high, but Sean Smith just has the inside line. He's able to make the most of it. Another drag race here with Healy and Mitch Muller down in the turn 1. Muller manages to sweep around the outside and make that move stick there.
This is just a monstrous train. If you look at the timing table, there's really not many gaps. Everybody just on top of each other.
At that last hairpin, because that was a massive save. ShiBBy's working his magic.
Gallen. Oh, sends it. Oh, he sent it too far. Forgot that there was a corner.
Twice in 2 laps for him. Going deep there.
Gallen now for the Pelican Esports Racing Team, also known as the Pacific Esport Racing Team, coming down on the lower end next to Craig Healy, the GMK Logistics Team. Another drag race. We are seeing many of these. Oh. Healy will get that move done. Really nice there. That's brought Van der Kraan back onto the back. He's actually up 2 spots after falling through the field, so he is fighting his way back through it. Oh, and he's going to go. Is he going to get them both? He's definitely going to try.
That's a big wall hit. I think that might have been in the grass for a long time for Van der Kraan there. Looked like he was trying to make an opportunistic move. It looked like Healy hadn't got off the corner well at all. Gallen was held up, had to go the outside, which opened up the chance for Van der Kraan to try and stick his nose up. And looked like that was a bit of side-by-side contact, forcing Van der Kraan onto the grass. And then the wall said hello.
Yeah, those walls aren't very forgiving either. They usually give you a good old wave and a slap to the face as they drive past you, or as you drive past them. There is so
Bono's
much.
forward momentum has just been a little bit halted here. Maybe he's racing for that reverse grid pole.
Yeah, top 5 reverse grid.
He's certainly holding up Tyburn behind him.
Yeah, so he's sitting in P5, so he will be on pole position for the feature race tonight. It's not a bad idea. He's already got himself some
Still got 6.5
points.
minutes to hold on to it, though.
Ty's definitely coming in hot.
The train that is forming behind Dylan DeBono. He's lost 8 tenths on this lap alone to Crosby in front. He's managed to get a good run off the final corner. Oh, rubbing down into turn 1.
Oh, clips
Tyburn
in.
tries to stand up the inside, just has to grab the brake to stop the car from switching out away from him. Kennedy's got Douglas on his outside. So Kennedy has to give room to the Mustang coming up all around his outside again, up to this hairpin.
There is trains everywhere we look here tonight for the simrings.com V8 Supercars Am Series. You can see Whittaker just letting Marnie know that he is there. But Chris Burridge is also up the inside. Oh, Sean Smith is around and into the wall. That is unfortunate. He was on such a great drive. Up 5 spots at that time. Ty Byrne right on the back of DeBono. Let's see how the
Tyburn
draft
goes
works.
to the apron to get a move done.
And he will get that move done on DeBono. Drop back in the field. There's nearly a 3-way drag. There is a 3-way drag race. A drag race?
Sideways.
I totally forgot what R's were then. Oh my gosh, there's battles everywhere. Douglas now. And Marnie. Whittaker right on the back of him. Whittaker down the inside. Oh, Marnie just being squeezed a little bit. Sorry, Douglas being squeezed a little bit.
Barney, though, who got the short end of the straw there, got bumped because Whittaker was up the inside of Douglas. Marnie now trying to look for a move. Oh, there's a bit of rear ending. That'll be Whittaker around. Burridge is going to clip him.
Wow, how did that not cause more chaos?
Oh, it's still not over yet.
Whittaker just gets a little bit of a kiss from Burridge. DeBono's got back round the Ty Byrne, or has he? These guys are putting on some great racing. Catches the grass, Burns there. Manages to hold it. Will have to slow down a fair bit to keep his car centered on that track. As we head back, oh, somebody's around. That is one of the Accelerate Sim racing cars. That was Lorne. Big slide for Burridge there as he comes around the corner. Less than 3 minutes to go here in our Heat 2 tonight.
Oh, Marnie's gone deep there. Is Marnie redressing to Whittaker, maybe? That's what it looked like. Marnie had gone deep into the corner. It looks like he was redressing to Whittaker.
Dropping down, getting it low, flies through, makes it look like Haynes is standing still. Haynes going to get into that draft now, though. Going to get him a really good run. Not close enough to make anything happen, though. Oh, no! Marnie with the lock-up! Drops 2 positions. Sets himself back into P12 after such a great drive. John Gallen, though, up 10 spots. Biggest mover and shakers right now is actually Blake Gallen, but Blake Gallen's doing it again. What was it last week, mate? 26 positions from the back of the grid.
Do you think he knows there's a hairpin?
Who, Gallen?
Yeah, Blake.
He's gone off there.
Because I think the 2 times we've seen him tonight so far, he's been going deep at the next hairpin on this track. But obviously he does if he's made up 17 spots tonight. Travis Daly's made up 16.
Great drive from the performance sim racing car driver. Oh my God, the 777. Just getting sideways, lighting up those tyres around that corner. Dropped right off the back of Healy. No safety cars tonight. They've done so well. De Bono and Byrne still battling it out for this P5 spot. De Bono can hold himself there for one more lap. He will get himself that podium position. Jamie Davis, really strong drive here for Heat 2. Up 6 spots. Pavlovich has been there the whole way. Only lost 1 spot, and that was actually to Davis. So right
a good drive from Pavlovich definitely tonight in this second race. Being able to maintain pace with Davis hasn't let him get away too far, and it's just getting him a very solid haul of points from this race 2. P10 in race 1, putting himself right in the thick of it, leading into the final race. So that will do us for race 2. Jamie Davis takes home the win. Petar Pavlovich on P2. Liam Tipping, Crosby, De Bono. So De Bono will have the reverse grid pole after holding off Ty Byrne for most of the second half of that race. Jason Douglas in 7 and Dougie Gowan's up in 8. So up 7 spots there for him. Matt Whitaker in 9 and Chris Burridge in 10th. Simon Haynes in 11th and John Gallen in 12th. Mitchell Muller, Craig Healy, Travis Daly, Scott Weston, Blake Gallen, Peter Vanderkrant, Joe Marnie down to 19th after having to serve his drive-through penalty. Petar Pavlovich trying to do his best impersonation of what Ty Byrne was doing in that last race. At the end, trying to do his best expression session for us.
Definitely
A bit of burnouts there for auto serve. Come on, you got banking. Give us a drift. Here we go. Set it up. Too much grip. Can't slide it. And that'll do us for race 2. We jump into a 10-minute warm-up now, but we'll take the opportunity here to look at the results from the from Heat 2. Jamie Davis over Petar Pavlovich by under half a second. Liam Tipping and Darren Crosby in 3 and 4, and Dylan De Bono will take the reverse grid pole, finishing at P5 in race 2. Ty Byrne, he'll be a little bit frustrated not be able to get past Dylan there in the end. Jason Douglas in 7 and Dougie Gowans in 8, up 7 spots. Matt Whitaker in 9 and Chris Burridge in 10th. So solid haul of points for those for 2 of the cars in the top 3 leading into this round. Peter Vanderkrant, P2 in the championship, down in 18th spot. Not a result that he was hoping for tonight. Blake Gallen, our driver of the day from last week, into 17th, so another solid haul of points gained from what could have been a very frustrating result, but drives himself all the way into 17th. And some other results a little bit further afield. Mark Horton down in 20th. There, Troy Sipple down in 24th would be hoping to work his way forward from there into the next one. And Joe Marnie all the way down in 30th with that penalty. So it looked like he redressed, but race control must have still enforced the drive-through penalty, and that's why he's down 1 minute and 9 seconds off the leaders. So Joe will be filthy with that, and hopefully he comes back out in this second race and tries to drive himself back towards the front.
Second race, third race, mate. This is the
Third
feature.
race. Oh my gosh.
The feature.
I mean, there's nothing different about the third race.
No. Apart from it's a reverse top 5 instead of a reverse top 10.
And yeah, true.
So something is a little different.
Something is a little different. I wouldn't say it's all different, but anyway.
No, we've got the simrings.com V8 Supercars Am Series out here putting on one heck of a show here at Homestead Miami this evening. I was waiting for a couple of drivers to jump into the green room. Nobody's really jumping on in. I'm going to take this moment to quickly go and stretch my legs and take a toilet break while we've got it before we head into our feature race this evening. Are you right to hold the fort down, Preach?
I'm sure I can manage.
Easy as.
So another good race there. Race 2 of our 3 races tonight. A couple of formats we've already gone through this season, including our standard sprint format with that 20-minute heat into a 40-minute feature. We've had our standard round, which is the 60-minute race, and then last week the enduro at 80 minutes for the race. So with that top 10 shootout as well. So some nice long races mixed up with these short, quick fire little sprints that we've got going on here. Cowie in chat saying that was a new record for me, dying less than 100 meters into that race. Cowie, I feel for you, mate. I think that was we didn't quite see it on the broadcast, but that looked like I think it felt like quite a sizable shunt in that one. Sheafy, man, this is tough. Yeah, mate, you're driving against some of the best drivers of these supercars I've seen in quite, I wouldn't say quite a long time, but some very, very strong drivers. So you're up against it. The field you're in is very impressive. But to finish 21st, mate, that's definitely not a bad result. Rick Vigor in here supporting the rest of the Angry Birds races. Oh, do we?
Yeah. Chat with Sean.
Drag him in. Let's say hello.
Oh, you want me to drag him?
Oh, I thought you were going to.
Yeah. I was just getting him up on camera.
Hello. Sean, mate, it's good to see you racing still and enjoying it tonight. We saw you a little spin at one stage during that race, spinning into the infield. How are you finding this field and how are you finding the racing tonight?
I should say, yes, the only spin, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely loving it, guys. I'm having a blast. I had I think my eyes lit up that I was on for a top 10 just then, and I spun it all by myself at the hairpin. So
well, you're just trying to get some drive out of the corner and just trying to see if you could maybe get the run heading into the banking of the last 2 corners.
That absolutely was it. Yep. The confidence was peaking. How good's this track?
Yeah. Oh, this track is unreal. I didn't think that it would provide the racing that it has, and having that banking around the last corner has certainly made it more exciting. If we took the infield route, I feel like it's just another spot to add some corners in to maybe make it more exciting, but I think it would be more sketchy if you had to take the little kink down off the banking down into that infield section that we've got on screen just on the left-hand side there. That would have been something else. And then, yeah, I feel like it's kind of got this feeling of the Turkish Grand Prix track with that little kink into the inside with pit lane and everything. It just feels a bit forced. So, what's it like driving the banking in these cars? We've seen some drivers take some very different approaches, maybe modulating with a little bit of brake pedal just to keep the nose low. Are you going the full lift, or are you feeling you're having a bit more fun letting the car run right up high out of the corner?
No, you know what? It feels very planted around the banking. I feel like halfway and towards the end of the stint, I am finding I'm doing a bit of a, let's say, a confidence lift. And following another car through the banking, it's tough. You lose a lot of aero. You can feel how unsettled it gets behind another car under their gearbox. So yeah, it's fun. It's a good challenge. I had a really good pass, I think, towards the end of the stint, around the banking. So going outside and then cutting down inside, you can really steal a good amount of time really hugging the apron. But yeah, as soon as you lose that aero, it's very tricky. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's one of those things that if you do if you do a bit of oval racing, trying to get low. Obviously in ovals, you've got some quite long stints on tyres, and tyres wear out a lot, especially if you're on the low line the whole race. But you can actually find that if you get your nose out of the direct line of the car in front, you can find a lot of grip just based on having a little bit of clean air for your aero to work. So maybe that's something to keep in mind, is being able to doing what you're saying, staying up high and then cutting down low, reducing that time that you're in the dirty air, and trying to see if you can't drive underneath the car off the corner. Have you done much oval racing? And there's a leading question, follow-on question from this. So one, have you done much oval racing on the platform?
I can't say I've done a lot. I've done enough to be competent. Definitely don't ask me my I rating in oval.
I won't tell you mine if you don't tell us yours. I won't tell anyone else mine, because it's not great.
No, I love doing trucks though. I absolutely love the trucks. They're great fun.
How have you been practicing your slide job? Slide past, your block past. We're not too far away from seeing a very well executed balls to the wall slide job.
I'm having enough trouble just keeping it on the road in general. I've actually had a few times where I'm on a Discord chat with another guy who's racing here as well, and a couple of times I'm like, I'm so much quicker, I can't go for the move because I know I'm just going to run through someone. It's very tough to pass here. Very, very tough.
It certainly looks like it's all about setting up for that infield section, really. It's with the way that the first sector is sort of shaped, it looks like it's very difficult to get through the corner nicely. But look, mate, we'll wish you the best of luck in race 3. Hopefully you can drive yourself forward from where you are, and a solid haul of points is on the offering here, mate. So good luck, and we might chat to you later on, maybe towards the end of the race, hopefully.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy the show.
Also, give all the viewers a good old wave, because you've been on our cockpit cam that whole time, mate. Shout out to all the viewers, Sean and Smith, ladies and gentlemen, as we head into our feature race here. Oh, excuse me, this evening for our simrigs.com V8 Supercars Amateur Series.
Okie dokie. So Dylan DeBono will line up on the pole after basically blocking his way. Well, I won't say blocking because it's not illegal what he was doing, but it was very crafty, managing to hold up the pack behind to take reverse grid pole. Darren Crosby will line up alongside him off the front row. Liam Tipping and Petar Pavlovich off of 2, with Jamie Davis, the race 2 winner, out of 5. Ty Byrne, Jason Douglas, Dougie Gowans, Matt Whitaker and Chris Burridge round out the top 10. Simon Haynes and John Gallen up there in P12. So good results there in that last race for them. And I don't think we got too long to go until we get to this green flag. Mitchell Muller and Craig Healy, Travis Daly and Scott Weston, Blake Gallen and Peter Vanderkran, Todd Martin and Mark Horton round out the 20. Tyler Sheaf, Scott Perrins, Brett Taylor and Troy Sipple out of 23 and 24.
I think we've got time. I do believe they've stretched it out. So
I think they have. So Mark Peck and Sean Smith, the driver we were just talking to on our Warren and Brown cockpit cam, will start out of P26. Mick Clifton, Greg Leake, Josh King and Joe Marnie down in 30th. Shane Newens, Troy Dooley, Stephen Kennedy, Andrew Cowan, who said, I don't think I've ever, what was his wording? That was a new record for me, dying less than 100 metres into that race. That is Cowie dying less than 100 metres into that race. Your average sim racer Cowan starting out of P34. Lorne McKee and Greg Barber out of 35 and 36. So big field. Well, Greg Barber actually won't start because he's the safety car driver. He's a safety car driver tonight, and we haven't seen him yet, which I definitely think is a good sign.
Oh, it's a great sign, mate. As much as some carnage on track can be exciting to watch, it's definitely not as exciting as just the racing that the AMs have put on for the last multiple seasons in a row. This is becoming one of the premier racing spots for upcoming V8 Supercar drivers, and we see it every season. These guys just get better and better. We are just about to get green and go racing again for the final time here tonight for your simrigs.com V8 Supercars Amateur Series. This is round 4 of season 4 of 2023, thanks to Warren and Brown Tools. This will be our final race. We had different lots of podium again this week.
We've had 3 different podiums, haven't we?
Yeah.
Revs rise. We get ready for green flag here in race 3. Drivers start very nicely. Dylan Bono gets absolutely no wheel spin off the line and will lead all the way down into turn 1. Liam Tipping is going to challenge Darren Crosby and we'll get that move done. Drivers fan out as we go 3 wide down into turn 2. Tipping absolutely sending it up the inside of Crosby to take that second place. And De Bono is already starting to gap. Jason Douglas trying to get up the inside of Tyburn. Matt Whitaker trying to chase as well. Dougie Gowan's under threat from that Pecky's car behind. Everyone seems to have made it through the first couple of corners, mostly unscathed.
Glad you threw in the mostly unscathed part, because they could have been asking for a commentator's curse right there. These guys have really taken to this track and it's put on some fantastic racing this evening as we see Vanderkran and Gallen as well as Weston. Vanderkran getting a really good run out of there.
3 wide into the corner. This is pure NASCAR stuff.
They need to get a 5 wide. 5 wide round that corner.
I mean, it's wide enough for it. Come on, boys, give us 5 wide. Oh, jeez, that's fraught with danger.
That's asking for trouble. Oh, Vanderkran just trying to cut in really, really sharp there. But, see that ripple strip on the inside of that turn? There was a lot of smoke in the background.
Oh, it's a car park. Oh, it's a car park. Sean Smith trying to drive his way through it. And Joe Marnie's just going to take absolutely every opportunity he can. Oh, he jams on the brakes. Doesn't want to rear end anyone this time.
Oh, 2 cars are around. It is Cowie and a QPR
Cowie
car.
and a Pecky's car.
Of Scott Perrins. Looks like they're both relatively unscathed.
Sweeping around the outside. Trying to get the drive off the corner. Sipple's giving absolutely nothing to him. We've seen these two have a fight once or twice in the Am Series so far.
Battling for a championship in one of the last seasons too.
Marnie just pins him to the bottom.
Oh, the Pecky's car in front as well with the GMK. Just non-stop drag races.
Oh, Marnie with a bit of a switchback, gets the nose up the inside, gets himself some racing room. Sipple out to the dirty stuff, and Marnie gets that move done in the end.
Comes Blake Gallen on Mitchell Muller.
Oh, just turns it in a little bit early and has to just bail out. Luckily doesn't lose a position, but...
Realises it's a John Gallen and a Blake Gallen. Only assumed as they're on two total different teams.
There's a moment for Van der Kraan there. Drove the car into the corner on the grass. Must have missed his braking point and managed to pull it up just before making... before he could have made some horrendous contact at the apex. And Gallen trying to defend from him. As we look further back, Peck and Travis Daly.
And Craig Healy's in there as well. The GMK Logistics car down the inside of Daly. Joe Marnie is just in behind them. Whitaker starting to make moves at the front of the field. Trying to get this move finished on Pavlovich. Whitaker leading the championship right now. Hasn't had the best finishes.
Points are points.
Exactly.
And that's what will be playing on his mind. It's a championship isn't won on one race win. It's won on consistency throughout the season. What he's doing here is just making sure he's consistently scoring points. Yeah, they might not be a massive amount of points, but they're certainly a solid haul. Getting himself through this field as best he can. All these cars adorned with that Simrig sponsorship on the windscreen. We've got three different lines we're taking into here. Whitaker going to drive it in. Oh, a bit of contact. Just tried to do a bit of a NASCAR move, driving into the corner. You've got Chris Burridge who's going to go the apron. Driving in nice and narrow. Oh, a bit of contact. Oh, no. It straightens him up. How have they...
They've avoided every single incident that we've caught, that we have caught on camera. Somehow these AMs have just managed to...
Somehow it's not death.
No.
I can tell you what, I've seen iRacing public lobbies that
Put this to
end
shame.
in absolute tears.
I've been involved with them. I did a whole Twitch series called Raging Through Rookies.
Oh!
Is that auto excellence of Shane Newens locking up the Pecky's cars into Smith? Getting a bit rougher than what we've seen. Peck now and Travis Daly. Performance Sim Racing. And that hardly normal car. Marty trying to make a meal again.
So Daly drove it in super deep into the corner. Ran Mark Peck basically out of any room. And Marnie was like, I'll have a piece of that pie. Oh, is that a slide drop from Marnie? It's just about his. Oh! Healy was running very high, trying to avoid rear end of Marnie. Jeez, this has been great racing tonight.
I vote we bring the V8s to here. Oh, the QPR car there. Just dropping off. That's Craig Healy. Is he going to let Mark Peck get around him as well? He is. No, sorry, that was Mark Peck in the QPR car.
Around,
yep.
But we got you. We got you.
Yeah,
At least you called the right cars involved. Douglas trying to get a move done on Pavlovich here down into the second hairpin. Going to try and hang it around the outside. He's got to be careful. Ty Burn up the inside. Trying to show the nose. Douglas gets decent drive off the corner. It'll do him well coming onto the back stretch here. Pulls out nice and early. Gets down low on the apron or towards the apron. Sitting much better line there. Gets the power on, tries to do a little bit of a block pass. You can see the bump as they come off the start of the banking right over that curb. Really unsettles the car. So you're sort of a passenger until you can really increase the brake pedal pressure. Of course, there's one thing we'll see this weekend when the real-life supercars take on the Gold Coast is being able to manage your brake modulation over the bumps of that street circuit, every manhole cover and every bump, especially down into turn 1 at the Gold Coast, braking heavily for the chicane. That'll be exciting to watch, I'm sure, with these bigger, beefier looking Gen 3 cars that we've got.
When are we going to get those? Oh, Pavlovich going back at Douglas.
Pavlovich going to try and teach Douglas give him a taste of his own medicine. Pavlovich gets forced down low onto the towards the apron. Does the slide job, but Douglas decides to switch back to the inside. Gets the inside line for turn 1. Pavlovich trying to hold it with some speed, trying to get underneath. Rear wing of Douglas. Can't quite get close enough to try and switch it back. Trying to do the switch back here. Douglas just holds him out a little bit. Pavlovich tried to turn it in probably a little early to really make that switch back work. Pavlovich turned in just a little bit later, tried to sweep down underneath the rear wing. It would have been a great move.
Ty Byrne is getting brought into this battle here as well. Jump further back in the field. Greg Leake and Mark Horton were having a go at each other then. Seems to be a little bit of a gap, but then every now and again there's two cars on top of each other. Muller and Weston, as well as Vanderkran, Marnie and Daly. Definitely a good sized battle pack going here for P13. Oh, the front runners are finally caught up with each other. De Bono trying to defend from tipping. He's also got Crosby on the back of him. Grandpa Gowans, or Guns Out Gowans as I like to call him, taking on Matt Whitaker, our current championship points leader.
Heading into the round.
Yeah, heading into the round.
Not sure what the points will be at the end, but we'll grab them for you because we do now use the iRacing championship points, which makes it very easy for us to get the results that we need as soon as we need them. Highburn looking for a move with Douglas just bodies Pavlovich out the way, and Tyburn will capitalise on that. Douglas looks like he's got some good straight line speed. He's just pulling away from Ty, even with a bit of slipstream. So Ty's going to take the high line and then cut down. Let's see if he can't carry that extra speed through the corner. So modulate the throttle pedal a little bit.
Tell you what, the M1 racing driver of Ty Bird, we haven't seen too much of him over this series, but I have this funny feeling he might have spent a fair bit of time practicing this track. Oh!
Got to turn it in on the rear brake a little bit. Definitely over-rotated, had to chase the rear a little bit. Going to try and look for the move. Back up the inside of Douglas. Douglas does well to cover. Pavlovich is now going to try and look for the drive off the corner. Ty's just doing enough. Grabs some of that inside curb, which compromises his run. Pavlovich ends up in the grass on the outside. Comes the inside now, heavy on the brakes. You can see the rear brakes glowing. So they turn it into this hairpin critical corner. Pavlovich just chasing the rear the whole time. Bucket loads of wheel spin. And he, oh no!
Pecky's
You
car.
cut at exactly the right time to Mark Peck, who is now
There was a
stuck,
battle going on.
heavy. Oh, there's 3 cars involved. Oh, Peck just gets caught up in some little bit of net code there. And the left front is, the right front is definitely broken on that car. Keeps it moving though, which is good. Still going to be green here.
Mark Horton. 3 races, full green racing. That's what we came to see. Getting that move done on Horton. Through the field now, up 7 spots.
Haven't seen much from the second autoserve car in Josh King tonight so far, but he's been doing nicely, keeping his nose out of trouble, and he's putting himself towards a good position here in this race.
Oh. Nope, don't worry. I thought we had a safety car because they slowed down. They were just slowing down because there's a corner. There's battles happening again. Marnie.
Good drive from Marnie. Up 16 spots, I think it is, here into 14th. Keeping his nose clean. Trying to get around Scott Weston here. GMK Logistics East-West Racing car.
Jace Douglas and Pavlovich are back into it as well. And Ty Burn.
Oh! That's absolutely massive contact. That is Pavlovich involved. Whitaker was there. Ty Burn was also involved. Douglas had got himself through. Maybe that had just unfortunately compromised the run for that Pacific Esports racing car.
It's our first
Like
real
Gallen.
instant. Oh, Gallen getting sideways.
Sliding it out of the corner. Simple Simon Haynes putting himself in a good spot. Gallen pulling it up nicely for the hairpin, turns it in nice and early, just tries to get the nose into the corner. We've got, that's John Gallen off as well. Haynes now trying to use a little bit of side draft assistance to get past Blake Gallen. So they come in to the banked corner at this end of the track.
Dougie's becoming the cork in the bottle here.
Lots of damage on the right front of that car. Won't be helping Aero much at all.
Oh, look at that Pecky's car. Get pushed a little bit too out wide. He didn't have the pace to flow through there.
It's a good run from Blake. Great run off the corner.
And does get the move done. Well driven there by Blake Gallen.
Set him up. Set him up all the way out of the final corner.
Haynes is having a sniff though as well. He wants a bit of Grandpa Gowans, but oh yeah, that damage has got to be costing Gowans a bit of time there. We need to get back up the front because the boys are at it again. Tipping has gotten past DeBono, but DeBono is not going anywhere.
Tell you what, if either of these two slip up, Darren Crosby, Season 3 champion, will be right in amongst it. Well, a little bit of contact, and have I just commentator cursed that one? Because I said if these two trip up, the apex before they tripped up.
And the apex predator of Darren Crosby will be waiting.
Lovely segue.
This mate have been practicing. Jump back through the field. Sean Smith in another M1 racing car. Smith will get the move done. Or was he? I think he was actually blocking Kennedy there. Kennedy's up 15 spots, so Kennedy on a stellar drive. A lot of guys in the field right now with massive movement. Blake Gallen up 10. Joe Marnie up 19, looking to go for another one on Grandpa Gowan's, up 20 spots now. Stephen Kennedy for M1 Racing up 15 spots. Troy Dooley for Troy Dooley's not Team 3 Racing anymore. Oh my gosh. He's a Performance Sim Racing driver now. See
Lauren
Vanderkrant.
Vanderkrant on the low line. Muller trying to work the high line. Muller gets a good drive off the corner, but Vanderkrant has that inside run. Muller trying to do a little bit of a switch underneath. Both of them hammer that curb. Oh, that's Sean Smith around. Sean Smith in the background was around. He was going the wrong way, and there's another car involved.
One car. It was Kennedy. Kennedy was off as well.
Kennedy.
We see Weston for the GMK Logistics, and Pavlovich is around.
Oh my gosh, the damage on that car is massive. So that would have been involved with what we saw down at turn 2 a couple of laps ago. That Pavlovich car is... there's not a straight panel on that car. I don't even think the rear wing's straight. Looks more like a Mazda 3 now.
He's driving a Commodore, right?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a Menace 3, but, you know.
Yeah, so it looks better as a Mazda than it did as a Commodore.
It's about as typical as a Mazda as I've seen, with not one straight brand new panel.
Tipping, starting to try and push this gap away as we are, I believe, on white flag. What a solid drive from Tipping, DeBono, and Crosby. There really wasn't much battling between these two.
It's not over yet. It's not over yet. Oh, Tipping with the exceptional drive. There was a Accelerate car deep off the track there as well, looking up the banking. It's turn 2 and 3 of the oval, but Liam Tipping has driven a fantastic race here, up 2 spots to take what will be, I think, his first win of the season, the 3rd win as well for a JTIT race on Oscar this season so far. Dylan DeBono comes home in P2, so very, very solid haul of points after what was a disappointing Bathurst for him. He'll be very happy with that result. Darren Crosby in 3. Jamie Davis, another haul of points there in 4. Jace Douglas, he's just doing everything right at the moment, pulling himself back into this championship fight. Matt Whitaker, another solid haul of points. So the cream rises to the top yet again in terms of where everyone sits in the championship. It's a very good haul of points. Got one of the Gallons in P7. I think that might be, is that Blake? P7?
Blake Gallen, yeah, P7 up 10 spots. Another phenomenal drive for him.
A great drive in race 2 and another great one there. So do all the celebrations you can, mate, because that's another fantastic effort. Simple Simon Haynes in 8. John Gallen in 9 and Joe Marnie up 20 spots in 20 minutes into 10th. So that's a great haul of points from what could have been a very disappointing night. So hopefully he's feeling a little bit more positive after that performance this time. But Blake Gallen has got some great car control when it means that the fronts are locked and the rears are spinning. He's given us smoke signals that are quite impressive. But Liam Tipping coming home with that race win. Dylan DeBono in P2. Darren Crosby there in the 66 car for M1 Racing. Returns to the podium. Is it his first podium of the season? I think it might be his first podium of the... No, for Crosby.
Oh, yeah.
I think it might be his first podium of the season so far. So great haul of points for him, that's for sure.
Cracking burnout. Ripping a burnout.
No, someone in pit lane.
Ah, that's disappointing.
We're missing a car. Where's
Crosby.
DeBono?
Oh, DeBono. DeBono's not out there. Yeah, Rick Viggers just chimed in and said, you make all this AMs, but to win, it's so hard. Very competitive field. Well done, Liam. You're not wrong, Rick. It's one of my favourite series to watch, mate. I think I've said this for the last 4 seasons, that the AMs are hands down my favourite to broadcast. You go, Darren. That's what I like to see.
Where's Liam's burnouts? They got no fuel.
Nice work, Darren.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, leave him off. Yeah, Darren. Get off. Get out of the way now, Darren.
Stop. Liam's not doing anything. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Flick it in. Can you do the whole lap? Ah, lost it. Oh, yeah, up against the fence. Go, 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 go. Yeah!
The old SVGs.
They're just trying to do one better on each other, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's an engine. I heard an engine go. I think it might have been on Darren Crosby.
Well, it's no fair. If you can't blow your tyres, you may as well blow an engine, right? I'm just letting Tipping have his time. But the lads are in the green room ready for interviews, but how could you not just watch a burnout? All right, whenever you're done, Liam, we'll get on to the interviews, mate. So it's all on you now.
Not done yet. Darren's disappeared. Oh no, there he is.
Darren's still sitting there. Ah, Liam's pulled it over, mate. I'm telling you, it'd be so good for a tyre model to be brought in that you do enough burnout and your tyres pop. I would be so happy with that.
Yeah.
All right, let me get my podium interviews ready to go. And we will start getting through them here tonight. Oops, that's not a third. Third place, though, was Mr. Darren Crosby for M1 Racing. And we will grab him in right now.
Up, I mustn't have saved it.
Didn't you? You didn't save it, Darren?
Save it, mate. Didn't save it. Changed the gear ratio for that last race because I just didn't. I just couldn't keep up with them down the straights.
Oh, I saw a lot of chat in the Discord about gear ratios for Miami. It seemed like there was a lot of different ones out there this evening. So I'm assuming you geared yours more to be a bit quicker through the corners rather than down the straights.
Yeah, correct. Like I stayed with the 1000 gear drop down, and I was just talking to the two boys in there, and they were on the one of them was on the 960 and one was on the 1000. But you know, there's a lot of changes you can make. It's not a set setup for the race. Everyone's got their own different setups. So, and yeah,
look, hard to do. Do you want it to turn better? Do you want it to drive off the corner better?
Yeah, correct. I mean, the 1000 was pretty stable for me. But then I just couldn't get him on the straights, so I just had to hang in there. I could outbrake him a little bit into the corners and use the gears to slow me down a little bit better. But it penalised me on the straights. So I did change it in the warm up, but I just realised when I stopped then it wasn't. So
anyway,
how
did you find? Yeah, how did you find Homestead? It looked like an absolutely great track for driving, for racing on.
Yeah, well, look, when you first hop on it and you haven't sort of been racing on it, it's quite difficult. But you know, after a while, you get used to it. No, it's a good track. It's good to slipstream people and get up behind them, and yeah, it was good. It was a fun night. I mean, you know, that first corner is very testing, but it's fun when you get it right.
I don't think there's an easy corner for a turn one coming off in a road course anywhere that we go to. Anywhere that you can go to. Daytona's difficult when you come off the banking. Yeah. Charlotte is a weird one because you come out of the chicane and then you've got to try and get the car slowed down whilst the track's veering to the left already. Yeah. And then this one is big bump in the middle, and you're going to send it and hope, really. And
it's with these American tracks coming off the bank at top speed and then coming down onto the flat ground after being on a bank. It's hard to hold that corner.
There are a lot of people hammering the inside curb of turn two. Was that a way to try and get the car to rotate or get it to pull up, like we see some drivers do at the chase?
I don't know. It felt all right to go through there, but you sort of had to go through there sometimes. It was just the way your car was braking, because the car, as you're putting the foot down, you can feel all four wheels wanting to give way on you.
We saw some chaos at the hairpins. But it seemed like the nose of your Mustang was pretty square for most of the race. Is that did you manage to just keep your nose clean and just get through the hairpins as best you can and really focus on the exit? Was that the goal?
The goal was just to look after the tyres, because once they fall away at that speed, especially when you come down on that first turn, you just got no grip at all. So I did try and really look after them. I did try and push a couple of times, but like I said, the gear drop down just wasn't good enough down the straights, and I'm guessing if I did get past them, they would have gathered me up anyway. So I just had to hang in there behind, I suppose. But anyway, I just tried to keep clean. My teammates, I was in a chat room with them, and you know, they when they were lighting the tyres up and stuff like that, they were struggling, and there seemed to be over the radio a lot of chaos behind us. So yeah.
I saw Ty Byrne get his. I think it might have been his debut podium in race one, and he gave us some very, very good car control on the in-lap. How good is it to have another driver from the M1 stable out there?
It is when they're back. I mean, they got work commitments, so you know they when they get back and they've got the time to jump in. But you know, Ty looked pretty hot tonight, and he looked pretty good in that first race. But once you make a couple of mistakes, it just puts you so far down the grid. So yeah, a bit of a shame, because he has got a bit of speed, but anyway, he'll come back.
Yeah, absolutely. I have no doubt that we're going to be pretty bang on for the rest of the race. We go to another American track next at Watkins Glen, and we know that Watkins serves up some absolutely cracking racing. How are you feeling heading into Watkins?
Well, I don't mind the track, but my other three teammates are pretty fast there, so watch out for them.
We will watch out with interest on those M1 cars. Mate, well done again tonight. We'll give you the mic for a couple of minutes to thank all the sponsors that keep M1 Racing running as good as they are.
Well, it's just M1 used cars at Slacks Creek. That's our only sponsor, and I'd just like to thank my teammates for the practice through the week and helping me with the setups. They did a stellar job. Thanks, guys.
Awesome, mate. Well done. You've got yourself a solid haul of points tonight. You're actually tied with Jamie Davis in the championship for P3 now as well. So, and you're only 23 points adrift of the lead with Liam Tipping. So there's still all to play for. 5 drivers all starting at 720 points and split by only 46 points. So there's a lot to play out still with what have we got? 5 rounds left in the season.
Yeah, good stuff. That keeps it interesting. It's good. They're all good guys to race against. So yeah, looking forward to the next round.
Awesome, mate. Well done again tonight. Go and celebrate with the rest of the M1 boys and give our congratulations to Ty as well for what was a great debut podium in race 1.
Yep, no worries. Thanks, guys.
And that was your P3 here tonight for the feature race. Darren Crosby from the M1 Racing team. We are going to move on now to P2 in our feature
DeBono.
race. Yeah, it will be Mr. DeBono for the Velocity SimLab team. DeBono.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good, mate. Yourself?
Oh yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad.
Not
Getting along.
bad. That was a fun track.
Oh mate, it was a mission to drive around. That's for sure.
Tell you what, you guys, everybody out there did a solid job. The amount of times where we saw 2, 3 cars, and then cars behind them going 2, 3 cars side by side, we thought, oh. Well, he goes this corner and the rest of the field. But, mate, I tell you what, you AMS guys absolutely put on one heck of a show, mate. How you feeling about your finishes tonight?
Yeah, the goal tonight was just try and get the championship back on track. Had a shit round at Bathurst. So I was aiming for just 3 top 5s. I didn't want to take any major risk. But, yeah, just came over 3 top 5s. Good points, and on to the next track we go.
Definitely solid points tonight, mate. And speaking of the next track, Watkins Glen, we've raced it quite a fair few times here at Sim Racing World. How you feel about it in the V8s?
Yeah, real good. I actually made my first Scops debut at Watkins Glen, so I've always loved that track. And yeah, hopefully go good there and try and finish off the season well with some good points. So we're there at the end.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. We saw you pull off the reverse grid pole for race 3. Was there any plan at the back end of race 2 to just drive yourself into that 5th place and just hold yourself there? Because it looked like you're dropping a little bit of time to the top 4 whilst you're battling with Ty Byrne towards the end of that one.
Yeah, the end of race 2, I don't know, just must have had a heap of tyre drop off or maybe a little bit of damage because Ty, man, he was so quick down the straights, and honestly, I was just trying to keep a top 5 result because I wanted to get 3 top 5s, but yeah, no, there was no plan to start off pole, that's for sure.
Alrighty, mate. Well, you've definitely got your championship back on track. Up into P8 now, 592 points. So you're still sitting about 160 away from Liam Tipping in the lead, but that's certainly not unattainable when you consider we've still got a plethora of rounds to go, 5 rounds to go. There's an enduro and there's a couple of 60-minute races to come. So heaps of points on offer moving forward, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen how fast you can go down the hill, so just got to stay consistent, score good points, stay out of the trouble, and we'll be there at the end, hopefully.
Awesome, mate. Well done again tonight. We'll give you a couple of minutes as a chance to thank all the sponsors that keep Velocity Sim Sport moving and keep you running up the top.
Yeah, thanks to like you said, the guys at Velocity Sim Lab. The work they do behind the scenes is it goes unnoticed. Stevie does amazing work. Premier Racing setups. They get the job done. Original digital design. Hit a Race YouTube channel. You guys for putting on the stream, because I was just talking to Dougie. He goes, the best thing about racing is going back in bed, laying in bed and watching the race. And SRW for putting on the good racing.
I don't know about laying in bed and listening to my voice is such a great thing, but for some reason my wife also likes it. So
He's listening to me. That's all it is.
Hey,
ShiBBy, mate. Mate, you're my idol, so I'm always going to listen to you in bed.
bloody idol, bite my ass. Hey, mate, you need to change your SDK information. The reason we call it Velocity Sim Sport is because that is what it says your driver team name is in our details.
It also says Velocity.
Yeah, it's got an R in it. That stuff's high tech for me, man. I don't know how to use it, but I'll get Grandpa Gowans onto it and he'll sort it out.
Yeah, because we've been calling it Velocity Sim Sport every time we talk to you. So it's Velocity Sim Labs.
Yeah, I'll sort that out for the next week.
Mate, great
Thanks,
drive
guys.
tonight, and thanks for joining us in the comms box, mate.
Thanks, mate. See you guys.
That was Dylan DeBono for the Velociraptor Sim Labs team. Driver of the number 03, taking out 3 top 5 finishes tonight and a second in our feature race. We are going to move on to first place now, which is Mr. Liam Tipping for the JTIT Race on Oz team. Liam, you join us in the comm box right now.
How's it going, guys?
Good, mate. That was a cracker of a burnout.
Oh, thanks. I take pride in my burnouts.
You're welcome, mate. We didn't start the interviews until you'd finished your burnout.
Oh, well, it's, you got to be good at something, don't you?
Well, mate, you seem to do a pretty good job tonight here. How did you feel about the track and the race?
To be honest, I didn't think I was going to have the pace for a podium even. I think the first race I kind of just was in sort of survival mode. Like I was just happy just sitting behind those guys in front of me. I think I was behind Tyler and Jace, and then they started getting into each other, and I did send one down the inside. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I think I was all 4 locked up and somehow pulled it up and got past him. But other than that, I was like trying to just be really chill. And yeah, then I think I sort of figured out for the next races how to look after the tyres a bit better, because that banking was really killing him.
Yeah, definitely, mate. He kills tyres in a NASCAR, so I can imagine what it would have been like in these cars when you've got to be set up to go both left and right. Mate, it's good to see you back on the top step here, and you actually come away with the championship lead tonight, overtaking Matt Whitaker. So you now got 14 points on him. There's still 5 rounds left to play in this championship. Have you got your eye on the championship, trying to follow in your teammates' footsteps and try and take out 2 championships this year for Race on Oz?
Yeah, well, that's why I was just kind of in the first race. Why I was just happy just sitting there, because I was just thinking I just want to finish all 3 of these races in the top. I would have been happy in the top sort of 7 cars in all 3. And then I don't know, some of the guys that were out the front in race 1, they just didn't seem to be as quick in the next 2 races. Like it was pretty hard in behind cars, like not an easy track to pass, and I think the dirty air was making it a lot harder too, so that helped my cause a lot.
Mate, I know Joe's been struggling a bit. Have you been struggling with some results out here? And, you had a race win in race 1. How much work do you guys do, obviously, with all your gutter night Race on Oz mates as well, who are doing quite well in Scops, it should be said. How much work do you guys do in the off-racing hours?
We definitely lean on those guys, like with their data and that, to sort of see where we're, I wouldn't say going wrong, but where we can improve. Yeah. So it's really helpful with them guys, but at the same time, we don't particularly want to distract them from Scops and that. So we're happy just like with any sort of input they give us and any data we've got, we can just use that. Outside of that though, I think the thing that gives me and Joe's pace is sort of the competitiveness between each other. Like we're both trying to go quicker than each other in practice for bragging rights. So I think that makes a big difference.
It definitely does, mate. Having someone to push yourself against that you know they're not going to go out and take you out on track, but you can have some good fun with and really lean on each other. That's definitely important when it comes to getting your outright performance every night, like you and Joe seem to do. You seem to both be up there. It's hard not to see an orange car up in that top 4 or 5 every week. So well done again tonight, mate, for taking home the feature race win and climbing yourself into P1 in the championship with 5 rounds to go. We're off to Watkins Glen next week, so I'm sure you guys have got some setup stored away for that, because it seems to be a pretty common one for us to run at.
Yeah, I think we've got a few things in the bag. I think the rest of the season's just going to be try and keep it clean. You know, I think it's easy to forget that this is an AM series, considering how fast some of us were going tonight. And you know, myself included, we all make mistakes, and so I think that the biggest thing with this championship is minimizing any big mistakes or incidents.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Well done again tonight. We'll give you a couple of minutes to thank all your sponsors that keep JTIT Race on Oz running as far up the grid as they are. It's great to see.
Yeah, big thanks to JTIT and Gutter Night. I believe JTIT's just come on for next year as well, which is really awesome. And yeah, we've got BE Electrical and Solar, and then we got all our forum sponsors: Pagnian, Gamesman, Ignition Controls, ShiBBy. They've all been with us for quite a long time now. Yeah.
Awesome, mate. Well done again tonight. We look forward to seeing where you can put yourself in this championship in the next couple of rounds, and we definitely look forward to seeing you next week at Watkins Glen.
Awesome, guys. Thanks. We'll looking forward to next week.
Awesome. Well done again. Thanks, mate, for jumping in the comms box. Liam, tipping your feature race winner here tonight at Homestead Miami Raceway. ShiBBy, mate, I'll just run through the championship. We said that Liam had taken out the top step at the moment. 766 points, leading by 14 over Matt Whitaker. Jamie Davis still sitting there in P3, and Darren Crosby jumping up to tie for 3rd spot. Peter Vanderkrant has dropped down to 5th in the end. Mitchell Muller in 6th. Jace Douglas in 7th. Dylan DeBono climbing himself way back into this championship fight in 8, and Stephen Kennedy in 9. Troy Sipple in 10. So consistency is definitely playing its part in this championship so far.
I tell you what, mate, with those 10 names up there already, it is going to come down to the absolute wire when we get to the championship round in 5 more races. So make sure you guys...
Chicago too, as that championship finale, and a sprint race too.
Heck yeah. Well, guys, make sure you guys and girls, make sure you are subscribed, got that notification bell clicked so you don't miss any time we go live here on SRWTV. I just want to take this moment now to say a huge shout out to all the drivers out on track every week for all of our series. Without you guys, we wouldn't have this awesome place to come and broadcast. It's also a huge shout out to all of you who join us and come along and chat with us out there watching our broadcasts as well. A massive shout out to, of course, Preach for joining me in the comms box again for another season. It's been great fun, and we can't do it without all of our sponsors. Simrigs.com, Racecraft Simulations, Warren and Brown Tools, Shannon's Insurance, Rare Spares, Tempting Sweets, DSL Rail Services, Grim Industries, home of the V8 coffee table, Neuropower, and for all the music you hear on Stream Rocket Unlimited, you can find them on Spotify. We will wrap this broadcast up now, but don't forget we'll be going live Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, for the Shannon's Insurance Formula 3 Nationals. And we kick it off Thursday at 8 p.m. as well for the Shannon's Insurance GR86 Nationals. Friday night brings you all the action of our IMSA Shadow Series. And then Sunday night we wind it all up with the Simrigs.com V8 Supercars Pro Am Series. I've been Nathan ShiBBy Howard. In the comments box next to me, of course, is Thomas Preach Riley, and we are going to end this broadcast by saying stay safe and race hard.